right off the bat, we have Olaf up at the top, hiding in this bush to see if they invade. He's going to see the entire team coming, and he needs to get out of there. Whoa,
he did get seen, so they pinged and said, hey, Olaf was here. They know where we are. Let's make sure we back off and defend our red for Alistar.
Yeah. Yeah, he bought his boots and his pots very, very quickly, ran immediately up to that bush. Basically, it seems like they're kind of expecting the invasion, and they're trying to be really cautious about making sure they know where the enemy team is. They're just protecting. CLG is actually not doing what I thought they might and trying to do some kind of an invasion. And really, against an Alistar and a Morgana, that's pretty safe to not invade. Even if you've got an Udyr there, it's a little bit easier to
Well, we also see Caitlyn grabbing her Yordle Snap Trap first. That's going to give her a little less fighting power right in initial engagement, so they don't want to get in any sort of invasion fight quite yet. But using those Yordle Snap Traps, she is able to scout one of the common paths for the XD team to come into the jungle of CLG and make sure they are able to defend them, so even though they're not getting it right off the bat.
And helping out St. Vicious with those raids, making sure...
one steal from Caitlyn, actually. Hopefully St. Vicious doesn't start yelling at double lift.
And now they're going to help him out with the red buff here, so he's going to be able to get level 2 very quickly. A lot of help in the jungle there for both teams. That's really smart. The more you can help your jungler out, the higher health he is coming out of that initial buff kill, then the better he can jungle and the faster he can gank.
Yep. And every little bit matters. At this level, these guys have been playing the game so much, they know exactly every single experience point they're going to get. So they know, if I get this camp, this camp, this camp, I will be second level, and then I'll be able to go immediately in and do a gank. If you don't get that perfectly, you might be thrown off slightly.
That's what they're going to try and do. Oh, he's going to go around. Oh, we saw it. Oh, is XD going to do this? Nope. Nope, they're not actually going to go for it after all. What I thought he was going to do was go into the Wraith Pit and flash over to headbutt Ahri out of the way. We actually saw M5 do that with success against, I think, Dignitas at IEM.
Yeah, but there was a very nice ward placement by CLG, so I think they were aware of it happening, and Ahri made sure she tended towards the top part of her lane so that wasn't able to be happening.
Yep, so no level 2 gank from Alistar after all. It looks like Double Lift and Chowster are doing a lot more pokage down here at the bottom lane. Mad is at almost half health at this point. Small Brain is taking some hits as well. And that's, you know, Caitlyn has such long range damage with her Q, the Piltover Revolver. Peacemaker, sorry.
A little confusing names, but you get the idea. Yeah. She also has a very long auto attack, one of the longest auto attacks for an AD champion. That does give her the ability to poke, like you were saying. She is able to stay at full health because Galio is able to keep her up as well. Meanwhile, Alistar is going to go in.
Is going to walk over a trap, though. Ha ha ha. No gank for you. Nice trap there, put down very early on by Double Lift. That's why we see players take a Yordle trap early.
Yep. Yeah, not only does that...
Oh, but he's not done yet. He's going in now that the trap's been cleared. Oh, Ahri's pushed out a little bit, but Webtoon decides it's not worth it after all.
A little bit of delay only cost him some creeps. It's not too big of a deal at that moment. If you saw an opening, you need to capitalize on it immediately, because you're not going to get that many openings against the CLG team. If you don't take advantage of like a few of the ones that you're given, you're never going to actually have a chance of winning.
And we've seen, by the way, Olaf go back and Hotshot GG picking up a Negatron cloak. I'm sorry, not Negatron cloak, the
Null Magic Mantle.
The Null Magic Mantle, sorry. And so he's going to have a lot of magic, well, not a lot, but a decent amount of magic resist, which is going to be really nice against the abilities of Kennen early on, although we have yet to see if Kennen will be going for AD or AP.
Yeah, he has been saving up his energy, not using the abilities on this creep wave quite yet. There he just used his Thundering Shuriken to get the kill from far away. He doesn't want to get hit by Hotshot early on, get stunned, and take any unnecessary damage. But he is already going to be level 5 against Hotshot's level 4. Does give him a little bit of an advantage to be able to poke right now if he wants to, but there's that axe going down that he needs to avoid.
Hotshot is being really defensive up there at top lane. He knows that Kennen is strong, can do a lot of pokage very, very early on, and
he also doesn't know where Alistar is right now.
That's true. That's true. So he's being very, very cautious. You're getting the Null Magic Mantle early just in case. And playing very defensively now. Hotshot GG up against his turret up at top there. But here we see Chowster and Double Lift working away. They've gotten some hits off on Double Lift now. And oh, is Small Brain going to go in? Nope, just soaking up traps, I guess.
Yeah, it is sometimes good to
uh-oh, they might be baiting because Alistair's there waiting. They might... Whoa, did they see him?
Yep, they saw him.
Yeah, they pinged him.
And they're going to back off. A little bit of a mistake there by XD Webtoon, but not something they can't recover from. We also see very nice ward placement by CLG on the top. Basically what those two wards that you see on your minimap do is they sense both entrances to the river. So if Alistar is to come anywhere from the upper jungle into the top left river, it's going to be seen by CLG, and Olaf will be able to respond properly to it.
Yeah. Very nice. And we did see Ari go back and buy a couple Doran's rings, by the way. So Big Fat GG is going to have a little bit of an advantage for the moment over Morgana, but nope, Morgana just went back and bought 2 Doran's rings as well. So they're both on a little bit even footing. Morgana farming up a little bit better, but Ari's going to get it back right now.
Yeah, and Morgana is known to get that early creep wave with her Tormented Soil. She's able to do a lot of damage on the minions and push them forward to the turret. But Ari also does that as well with her Orb of Deception. She's able to throw it out and do damage to all the different minions and take them out just as quickly.
Yep.
So nice little counter-picking with Arya against Morgana.
Seems like everyone's kind of going back and picking up some early items right now. Alistair just got, and Alistair and Galio actually both got their Philosopher's Stones right now to give them additional health and mana regeneration, and gives them some extra gold over time as well. Those are items that are good for building into better items later on in the game too. So,
well, pretty much any item that's not a Doran's X is something that you're going to want to have a plan to move into for the late game. If you need to sell an item, you do lose a lot of the value of it. So it's really something that you need to have a clear idea and clear build if you're going to maximize your effectiveness.
We saw Webtoon, by the way, backing up away from that blue buff before he headbutted it. He didn't want to accidentally headbutt it through the bushes.
Yeah, I made that mistake multiple times.
Yeah, although I think they changed headbutt. I'm not certain. I haven't looked at the notes or anything, but I was playing Alistair the other day, and now I think if you're like right next to it, it doesn't hit it as far, so you can't headbutt it through. Maybe that was the recent patch, though. I'd have to double check.
So there was that Orb of Deception coming out from Ari. She was able to bring all the minions down very low, throw out a second one, and get the kill on all of them. Very nice job to clear the wave very quickly, allowing her to back off, kill her own wraiths if she wants to, maybe move forward and kill the enemy wraiths. Those are that minion creep camp right up to the top and bottom of the middle wave.
Yep, we see now Chowster here is basically just kind of holding still, making sure that minion doesn't go too close to the tower, so they can make sure to get the kill on instead of the tower. Keeps hitting that smite on XD Mad, getting some pot shots on him that's lowering him down here. We haven't seen Udyr gank yet, though, which is a little bit surprising. He's just farming away.
Yeah, as soon as he gets the higher levels, he is going to be able to come in and do a lot of damage. So he's just kind of farming, making sure he gets that advantage. We haven't seen any successful ganks from Alistar either, so that is going to give a slight jungle advantage to Udyr. He has 62 minion kills compared to 38 of Alistar. We'll start to see that coming into effect later. Both champions having a different gold for 5 item, making sure they just constantly build up gold without actually having to kill anything. Very nice job to have on your support or your jungler.
Hotshot GG is getting kind of wrecked up here at the top lane. He's getting poked so much by Kennen that he's just getting pushed back. He's currently at 51 creep score to the 66, so Kennen's got 15 extra creep kills on him as well. And just is taking a lot of damage. We see him chugging a health potion every time we look up at the top lane. But he hasn't died yet, but he's a little bit worried. We see him kind of thinking that he wants to back off. He knows that if he backs off, Kennen's going to get a lot of damage on his tower, though. Yeah, so he's kind of hesitant to, but he also thinks he might get dived.
Kennen does have that Regal's Lantern, so he is going to get a free ward every 3 minutes. That's to pretty much keep him safe the entire time of this laning phase. It also gives him a little bit of life steal, so he's going to be able to get life back as he kills these minions. And being a ranged champion against Olaf's melee, like you were saying, it's a really nice pick for them to have in the top lane.
Yep, pretty much. And now he's going to go back to the lane. He actually didn't finish. This is... Okay, Olaf has like a little bit of everything right now. He's got a Vampiric Scepter, which gives him a little bit of life steal for that, like you were saying. He can kind of heal back off the minions. Now he's actually gotten a cloth armor and a longsword. So he's Got a little bit of everything. He's got a tiny amount of magic resist, he's got a tiny amount of damage, he's got a tiny amount of lifesteal, and he got a tiny amount of armor.
Yeah, and the thing about League of Legends is the higher tier items you have, they are more effective for the amount of gold that you put into them. So buying all those tier 1 items, meaning items that aren't built from anything else, is not the most effective right now. However, it gives them a good position for moving into the mid game and starting to get a bunch of different tier 2 and tier 3 items at the same time. So as long as he can survive a little bit longer against Kennen, he should be in good shape. Alistar coming in, clearing a ward, making it look like he was running away, but then coming right back in.
Ari is just outside of vision range right now.
Yep. He is there in mid. XD knows that, or he's there from mid. XD knows that Ari is not in mid, but they don't know exactly where he is. He could be back buying items, he could be back grabbing the blue, or he could be in the bottom lane, which is where he is right now.
And she's showing herself now, though. Are they going to go for the gank here? Galio's trying to slow him down. Ari chasing with Spirit Rush going in. She gets the charm off on Smallbrain. Smallbrain will die. They give the first blood to Big Fat GG. Notice that was actually a really, really cool play there. You could tell that that Double Lift and Chowster actually held back instead of attacking to get that last hit, making sure that Big Fat GG got the gold for that kill so that he's going to be able to get the better items.
Yeah, and it is important to make sure that all of your lanes have a slight advantage. Giving that kill to your mid lane is going to let her play very well against Morgana. Meanwhile, getting the bottom lane AD killed, or the support killed, is going to give your own bottom lane just an advantage right off the bat without actually needing to get the kill and that extra gold. So very nice play.
This top tower is going to go down. Hotshot GG forced to back again so that he didn't die to Kennen.
Yep. But that is going to let him buy the Regal's Lantern, which Kennen already has. He's one item up with the Null Magic Mantle, but Kennen hasn't gone back in a little while.
Oh, he just went back and bought a Doran's Blade and Berserker Greaves, so now Kennen's still ahead in items there.
Yeah, it is very nice to see that we have these 80 Kennens gaining popularity, especially on the Korean server. With his passive, Mark of the Storm, he is able to use his just regular attack damage to add utility to his abilities. And just it synergizes really well with the rest of his team.
Yep. Curious to see if he goes for a Zeal or anything like that, or if he just uses those Berserker Greaves for the attack damage later on.
Yeah, the entire XD team coming in here to make sure they secure their blue without any sort of counter ganking going on, and now they're going to posture for the dragon. The entire team of CLG is not in position. I don't think they're going to even challenge this at all.
No, there's no way they can do anything about it.
They are common at making. Is just let the other team have dragon, make sure we stay in our lanes, make sure we get the money in that case. It is a trade-off, slightly in the advantage of XD, but it's not necessarily worth the risk to challenge that in this time of the game.
Yep. Instead, Olaf taking the opportunity, Hotshot GG, doing some farming up at top, trying to get some damage on the enemy tower. Finally, for the first time this game, actually doing damage to that tower.
Not quite yet.
I think it took one hit. Alright, there we go. Now he's definitely done it. And
13 minutes, 40 seconds into the game, the tower starts to get hit.
Just kind of taking advantage of the fact that Kennen was out of lane for a minute to do what pushing he could. And now, Hotshot GG's going to have to fall back again. He knows he just can't take Kennen right now. Kennen is so strong.
Yeah, only 14 creep score up, but once again, when the top lane goes to fight Dragon, it's going to be, of course they're going to be a little bit lower in creep score than they normally would have if they didn't go there. So it's actually a bigger disparity than we see on our scoreboard right now.
Now, by the way, Corky has actually decided to pick up a Phage first, and Caitlyn went straight for the damage. He's got a BF sword.
Yeah, the Phage, and also looks like an amplifying tome, so he's probably going to go for the Sheen and then eventually go for the Trinity Force.
Very good item on him.
Yeah, give him a lot of utility, a lot of damage in different ways. Just able to really help in a lot of different situations. And because Kennen is going for AD, they want to make sure that they don't get too much AD on their team. They want to make sure they spread it out a little bit. Oh. Alistar
going in to pick off that ward and steps on a trap. Free smack in the face by Double Lift, but look at that. Chowster using his abilities on Galio to soften up those minions just enough that Caitlyn can actually get the kills. Yep. Very smart play. And XD is kind of pushing in on Chowster's Chowster's lane down here.
Big Fat LP once again going to the bottom. The first time he came here, it did result in a kill. Let's see if they can do it once again.
Now,
Spirit Rush is a very nice mobility ability for Ari, so it is something that combined with Chaucer, they can get in very quickly and do a lot of damage. But the ward's there.
I think they might know it's coming because St. Vicious is in the middle with his looter there, so they know that Ari's missing, basically, is my point here. Now they're going in for it, but yeah, it's too late. Ari's just going to have to go mid again. We did have Hotshot GG under threat from Alistair up above at the top lane at the same time. He had to go back again. Hotshot GG spending a lot of time at Nexus here. Oh no! Leona ult on double lift. Is he going to get away? The flash out, the net as well. Galio ult is so held everyone in place. Will back Big Fat GG get the kill? No, Morgana comes in with ult to finish off Caitlyn. Oh, the stun doesn't quite keep Big Fat GG in place long enough. He turns around and uses the rest of his ult to finish off Morgana as well. An even trade. Big Fat GG getting another kill though.
Yeah, an even trade, 4 kills, but they did, CLG was able to take down the turret, giving them a slight advantage overall in that fight. Big Fat GG getting 1 more kill, like you're saying, up to 2, compared to the only 1 of the XD team. A lot of assists going around all across the board, though. Alistar coming a little late to the fight, but was able to get that 1 kill. And then St. Vicious doing a really nice job. Meanwhile, while the entire team was in the bottom, he was able to put a lot of hurt on the turret and eventually take it out. Taking that mid turret is the best objective to go for early on because it does give your own team a lot of positioning capability. Pushing up the center gives the most ground possible for a single turret.
All right, I think Hotshot GG's finally going to finish his boots. Going back one more time to the spawn, and I actually didn't see what he picked up there, but that's okay. We'll get a shot of it a little bit later.
Yep. Nice warding by Big Fat GG.
Yeah, it looks like Alistair wants a little bit. Oh, the shield goes down on Alistair, but just clearing out this ward. Knows it's there, so no major threat. And just a little bit of posturing here. Everyone's kind of out of position at the moment. XD's blue buff is going to come up in a little bit here, and they may be worried about abandoning that location at the point when that's going to happen. Kennan's trying to save his tower up here. Caitlyn's got a lot of damage, though. I think that tower's going down. Yeah, and Galio's there as well.
Nice swap of the lanes. They put George down at the bottom because he was having a little bit of trouble against Kennen. Send Chaucer and double lift up to the top, be able to push down that turret like you saw. However, that's going to leave Hotshot against 3 champions of the XD team, but he's doing a great job of it. He is able to defend his turret. Meanwhile, Kennen is not doing the best against Caitlyn and Galio because of that long range that we were talking about before.
Yeah, that's smart to send their extremely long range Caitlyn up against the Kennen there, and they're going to get maybe a second tower here as well. Chicken comes in, throws down some Tormented Soil. It's going to kill all the minions, so they do not have anything to tank damage for them, and that's going to stop that push at about half damage on their tower.
Yeah, but now the blue buff is up for XD. That's going to allow them to go over there, grab that after they push in a little bit and try to do some damage on the middle turret, do a little bit of a trade, but they're knowing that 4 of CLG's players are coming in from the middle. They need to be careful. They need to know exactly which entrance they're going to be coming from, be able to defend against it. They guessed wrong, but it's okay because they guessed in a safe way.
Alistair's ultimate is up. He could dive into that team. He doesn't have his flash at the moment, though.
Olaf trying to steal the blue. Morgana's going to go in there and try and stop it, but does get there a little too late. Hotshot doing a great job of getting in there, grabbing it, and getting out before even getting touched at all. Meanwhile, the rest of CLG is going to push in mid, doing a great job of taking that advantage that they got and making the best of it. Dark Binding going off for Morgana, but it does miss everything.
Oh no, but Ari charms her! Chicken almost goes down with that combo, but is able to get out. And Ari actually used her ultimate on that situation and is kind of wasted it, I guess. But the poke war now ensues. With that Tormented Soil, though, it's so hard to actually get minions up to the tower. You can't really get very much push on it.
Yeah, but they don't even need to. They just had to push it up a little bit delay. The XD team allow CLG to move in and try to take a dragon. However, they are going to get seen because there's a lot of really nice ward coverage by XD. XD is going to decide whether or not they want to go in there here for the fight in just a second. But I think they're going to get here a little too late, but not too late to start a fight if they can pull off Hotshot GG on his own. But no, he is going to be able to get away because of the help of his team.
Yep, cannot be disabled. One of the great things about Olaf there.
Yeah, Ragnarok is his ultimate ability, and it does allow him to run around for a few seconds without being disabled, like you were saying. They are going to trade a turret for a dragon, though. Not a bad trade. not always what you want to do, but something to make the best of the situation. The XD red buff is also up now. They can go back and grab that and try to make it so that they don't lose both of their buffs to the CLG team.
Very smart. So the blue is going to go to Big Fat GG. He's going to sweep him from behind. And nab the last hit on that.
And we just see Caitlyn buying the Infinity Edge. It's a very powerful item for your AD champion. Once you get that, you start to scale up in damage insanely. And the reason for that is because all of your critical hits start to do even more damage than normal, and you get more critical hits than you otherwise would.
Yeah. And we'll probably see her, she has the Berserker Screws, but we'll probably see her go for at least a Zeal next, which will give her increased attack speed and movement speed. But one of the cool things about the Zeal is it gives you increased crit chance. So it's a very common combination with the Infinity Edge, because then you're critting more and your crits do more damage.
Yeah, and pretty much the most common build that you see for AD champions is what Caitlyn's doing. There's a lot of really good reasons for that. If you want to check out the math, there's lots of articles online about that.
Look at this, Hotshot GG's throwing his axe, going over and picking it up again so he can throw it again very quickly.
Yeah, an interesting thing about the Undertow ability is that you throw that axe, it stays on the ground, but when you walk over it, it resets the cooldown by 4.5 seconds, allowing you to throw it again very quickly.
Yeah. We do have St. Vicious finally clearing out some of those wards. He's actually walked by several wards in the last few minutes and just hasn't had the time to clear them out because they've been on their way to a battle.
Battles are a bit more important than the little gold that you get for taking out the ward. But he is still doing a very good job of clearing off as much as possible. CLG posturing for Baron. They are actually started.
What the? They're trying to just double it basically.
Well, they had the two champions that could take it down pretty easily if they were left alone, but they were also in a position where they could back off very quickly if like we saw.
Almost catching the rest of their team out of position there. Oh, the flash bear stance on Webtoon. I'm not sure if this is really worth it though, because Alistair's really hard to kill, but they are going to get a kill on him. Nice kill. Chester flashes in, is able to get his ultimate to lock Small Brain there. Chicken is now in there as well, using her ultimate, using Morgana's ultimate to do a ton of damage. Hotshot GG might go down, but no! Morgana dies instead. Mad is going to Valkyrie out of there. Small Brain's going to take the hit from Caitlyn's ultimate, but they are in full retreat now, but they might get a kill anyway. No! Look at this, the CLG team, several of them at low health, but surviving and killing 4 of their opponents. Alistair's going to come back up in a couple seconds, but I think they might be able to get Dragon.
Oh, well,
I'm sorry, not Dragon, Baron.
Yeah, that'd be very easy to get it. It's going to be down to XD to use his Missile Barrage for that last desperation hit, but if CLG times properly, which they usually do.
Well, Smite is up for St. Vicious, so they're not going to get the last hit on this.
Unless there's a big mistake.
Oh, unless St. Vicious dies to Baron. He's actually getting quite close to that. Everyone's shielding him.
Very nice.
Hotshot GG is close to death, but the Baron goes up. He flashes in and does his headbutt on Big Fat GG. Oh, no, look at that.
Corky was not in a position to Valkyrie over the wall and help with that fight. If he had,
he would have gotten double kill.
And Hotshot GG were both very, very low. But no, all 5 of CLG are going to get the buff, they are going to get away, and they are going to be able to buy items and do a really strong push here in mid in just a second, or wherever they actually want to.
Oh man, that was clutch. That could have turned around very, very easily. You know, XD, if they'd had a chance to, there's so many players on the CLG team were low on health. But they did get away with it after all, and now they're up by 6,000 gold.
Yeah, doing a nice job.
Getting a little bit of a listen in on the CLG team speak. Team chat, I guess. And it's pretty simple, I guess, what's going on right now. Powering down that mid turret. CLG now pushing. They want to use this Baron buff to do some more damage. The charm goes off on Alistair. Are they going to catch him? He ults to get out of the disables, and it's going to have to go back now, but...
Yeah, very nice job to pull that ult from Alistar. That does make him even stronger of a tank. So without that there, they are going to be able to kill him if he runs in the next fight here. Meanwhile, they are going to continue to posture to be able to chip down this turret as soon as the minion wave comes. And
they're actually getting a lot of damage on that turret. The range and damage of that Caitlyn is able to do so much damage. Every time there's a few minions there, she can do a few hundred damage on the tower. In a short amount of time, they're actually going to probably get the tower since they have that sustainability from the Baron buff.
Yeah, and they're in a very good position. All the tier 1 turrets for XD are down in addition to this mid lane being pushed up very far. So they know that their own minion waves are going to do perfectly fine on their own. So if they can just keep XD focused here for a little while, they're going to eventually be able to chip down this turret, take it down, and then take the inhibitor right after, because XD cannot fight CLG in the open field while CLG has this Baron buff.
Look at that, 1 minion wave. Caitlyn goes in, takes several shots at the tower, 90 caliber nets out of danger, and in just each push they're getting it down. I think the next minion push they might actually kill that tower.
Yeah, or they could just back off and take both the red and the blue buff from XD. Dragon is also up as well. Go grab that, make sure you solidify your advantage. When you're ahead, get more ahead.
Oh no, ult from Leona going down. Kennen runs into ult as well. This could be the turning point if they can do enough damage, but XD is getting routed instead. Hotshot GG picks up another kill. Oh no, it's going to be a complete ace. A complete ace for only the loss of Caitlyn. Unfortunately, they did lose Caitlyn. If they had Caitlyn in the game, they might actually be able to win right now, but that's still a possibility. They've got a long time with 4 champions here to do some damage on these towers.
Yeah, they are going to be able to take down 1 or 2 of these Nexus turrets. That's going to put them in a very good position to be able to back off and get those buffs like I was talking about, grab that out of the Dragon without pretty much any sort of repercussions coming from XD. Very nice play by them. 10 seconds for Morgana to come back up. They're going to get some damage on the Nexus
up.
turret.
The Nexus is going to get powered down fast enough. He needs to engage. What is he doing? He doesn't, and doesn't buy enough time for Corki to get in there either. GG. Counter Logic Gaming wins their game, wins the losers match. XD has been eliminated completely, and CLG keeps their hopes alive.
Yeah, very nice showing by them, by XD though. They were able to hold on for quite a while against this very strong powerhouse CLG team. But CLG showing why they are one of the best in the world. Hopefully that will help them rally their spirits a little bit and go against this NEL team who's a little bit stronger than XD in this next game to see who will move on to the round of 8.
Yeah, very strong showing though by XD. They held their own very well considering the caliber of team that CLG is reputed to be. So they put up a good fight, and they actually were able to hold their own in the lanes pretty well for the most part. Kept from getting ganked. Actually, we didn't really actually see St. Vicious gank at all for most of that game. It was just farming up and winning the late game. So, but XD has been eliminated. The smile has been wiped off their team's face.
Oh, they were still having a good time. They're very happy to be here. I'm sure they'll go and practice for the next tournament in the next season.
So, the last match of the day, the last game of this group is going to be, in fact, CLG versus NEL, Counter Logic Gaming versus Never Ending League of Legends. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for some more League of Legends action here at OnGameNet. Sponsored by Zubu.com. Stand by.